What's ripening, YouTube? So I want to talk a little bit about one of my favorite ingredients in the food forest. This is Tithonia diversifolia Mexican sunflower. This is an excellent chop and drop species. The clumps that you're looking at that are down both sides of this pathway were just cut back on June 5th. Today is July 12th, I think. And so if you look in here, the last cuts, here they are. They were about knee-high cut. And so it's grown this much in what, five weeks. Now it's over my head high. So it was from knee high to head high, overhead. Yeah, this is like probably 7 feet, so over 2 meters from half a meter. And so I cycle this. I cut it down to knee high several times, and what'll happen over time is that it gets congested in here. This isn't as old of a clump, but you'll have a bunch of dead stumps in here. You know, it's just dead, but it'll keep resprouting. Tons of resprouts, but it'll get kind of clogged up and dead, and you'll get all these like wood ants in here. And so what I do periodically, and we're doing it right now, so I'll show you. This is the before. What I like to do probably once a year is to come down and cut it completely out. So here's the bottom, what it looked like. It turns into this big woody mess. And so here's what the after looks like. We're still kind of processing the material, but you can see all my clumps have been cut down completely to the ground, and it's already starting to resprout. You know, we just cut this down like a couple days ago, or yeah, a couple days ago. The material's already turned brown. It's green underneath where it's not getting hit by the sun, but the top of it's brown. We use the green material along the edges, and the woody material I'm actually scooping up, and because I don't have a wood chipper at this time, I'm actually just burning this these extra woody stumps, because this stuff kind of sucks to lay down in anywhere that you're going to be traveling, walking. It's just woody and chunky, and it doesn't break down as quickly. If you let it get really tall and you lay it down, you get this kind of woodier stuff. And so what I'm actually doing through here is cleaning this whole thing out, and then I'm gonna put a new layer of wood chips. I'm not gonna go super thick like I have in the past. Probably gonna pull some of this stuff out of here. This is gonna regrow. I'm probably gonna establish a new second support line that's in with the Tithonia. I'm not sure what I'm gonna put in there yet, but I'm basically doing what I call a reset, or what you'll hear other people use that term, resetting. Because the Tithonia gets old and it gets full of dead wood. You know, you see all this old dead wood. Some of these, when I cut them, you know, ants kind of pour out of the old stumps. Like you see the hole there. You see that? There was ants in there when I cut it. And it gives me a chance, when the stumps are out of the way, it gives me a chance to come in here and clean out the rest of the bed, reorganize, and if I want to replant or remulch, it gives me that opportunity. It also gives me way more air circulation. So this time of year, we're kind of at the end of the mango season. I still have quite a bit of fruit on some of these trees, and when it gets humid and hot, this is when I really value my airflow more so than the wind protection or whatever aspect of the Tithonia, which is, you know, I leave it up tall in the wintertime because it helps buffer cold air that blows through. But right now, it's helpful to have it out of the way and have that airflow while my mangoes are finishing off. When the mangoes are finished off, this will start to grow back. And so it's kind of like this planned reset cycle that I use the Mexican sunflower. The Mexican sunflower is a powerful tool if you use it to your advantage. If you just let it get away, it can be less useful. I've learned the hard way. You'll see that's why I have all this big woody This woody material is from me letting it grow really tall and then cutting it, chop and drop, and then you get the chunky stuff. If you cut it while it's all green like this stuff breaks down really fast and just disappears. The last time I cut it, you know, here's what's left of the last time I cut it. Just small stems. These will break down really easily, versus those big stems that were pretty large and chunky. So the idea is that you cut it several times. Basically, I like to go when it's head high, I cut it to knee high, head high, knee high, head high, knee high, and then at least one time, for me, like in this mango orchard, I like to do it at the middle or end of the fruiting season, just to give myself plenty of airflow, get it out of there, and then let it regenerate itself from the base and start a new plant. That's the pattern I'm working with here in the mangoes. I've used it all over the place. I have other areas where I'm cutting it at different times, but the concept is the more you cut it, the more it'll grow back. If you let it grow tall and lanky, it'll get woody. It won't be as vigorous, and when you lay down the material, you have more of a risk of it setting, you know, catching a root and starting a new plant in places that you may not have preferred. I've been using it a lot, and more than likely, as my mango trees have started to fill in, probably next year I'm going to take the Tithonia out of this system, at least out of the location that it's in now. Oh, there's a pineapple there. Might as well grab it while we're here. Because yeah, once my trees are up and big, these mango trees don't need a ton of help anymore. They actually produce enough organic material. There's another pineapple. They produce enough organic material to take care of themselves. So you won't need the Mexican sunflower anymore. Right now, what I'm actually doing is concentrating most of my cut material into this secondary bed. So I have my mango tree line and my other mango tree line over there. They're 20 feet apart. This midline is at the 10-foot mark from the two side-by-side lines. And so I'm putting all my trimmings right down this midline. The midline is mostly planted with sugarcane, cassava. There's taro in there, moringa, bananas, and probably there will be pineapple in there soon. And then on the two sides offset, I have turmeric lines. So basically all my mulch material goes between the turmeric and the midline. It's like a 2.5 foot wide swath of area on both sides. And it gives me a place to organize my material. I have my walking path right here. So this is part of the design here. Sorry, I'm bumping around the camera. I'm trying to hold these pineapples. And then you can see there's the turmeric coming up on the other side. So I have my walkway, turmeric, mulch tree line, you know, short-term tree line here, turmeric, another walking path, and then I have my tree lines with my main species on both sides. But Tithonia is one to play with. You have to get used to it. I really don't recommend just planting it and ignoring it. And if you're afraid to cut something, I wouldn't bother planting this, because it really needs you. It needs you to be involved in its life. If you benefit it, it benefits you. If you leave it alone, it'll grow up and go crazy. What do you think, Lily?
Tithonia rocks.
She thinks Tithonia rocks.
You gotta rock with it.
Lily's learning. She's learning these plants. So that's what I wanted to say about the Tithonia today. I know I've probably talked about it too much, especially if you follow me on Instagram. My Instagram page is Peace River Organics, where I talk about kind of what I'm doing at the farm more often. I talk about Tithonia quite a bit. It's a really useful plant, but it does take some thought how you use it and what you do with it. But anyway, that's what's ripening here. We're gonna go pick some mangoes here. I got a guy coming to pick up a bunch of boxes of mangoes in about an hour. So we're gonna start picking, and we'll see you next time.